definitely going again this year. As I said, I wanted to try and get straight back into it, but just not allowed. So but that's just going to have to wait a little bit. But I mean, I think look, you got straight after the fight, people were mentioning Yair Rodríguez. Obviously, all camp or before the fight, I'm talking about Movsar, and obviously he's in a position where. And if you look at who deserves it most, being undefeated, and who he's fought and ranking, I don't know. What's he ranked now? Would he be ranked right up there? He should be, but I don't know how it is.
He's Max is 1, Diego 2, Ilia 3 still, Yair 4, Movsar tied for 4 somehow, or 5. They're both 4.
So they're tied. Yair and Movsar.
Yeah.
Okay. So so they're both in that same position. Obviously, I fought Yair. It's weird because I like Yair, and so when he was calling for it, before the fight, I wasn't really expecting it. I was like, didn't expect, you had if Pitbull won, I'm sure he would call for the shot. Maybe the UFC would maybe want it. And then, who else was there? Yeah, or Movsar. I thought they were pretty much the only options. I thought it'd be pretty clear. But then Yair won, and then he was calling out. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to be the guy to turn Yair down because I like the guy. You know what I mean? So I don't want to rob him of an opportunity if that comes forth. So we'll see what the UFC bring forward. But again, I do like that, undefeated record. That I'd love to take that 0, especially for legacy and where I'm at. You're taking out an undefeated guy, you still say, I don't know how old he is, but he's still that younger generation, younger than me anyway. And, that rest of that sort of different style as well, going out there taking, because I'm sure, when it's all said and done, Movsar, I think, is still going to be up there. I can see him being a problem for a while. And I go take him out, and, he keeps building his resume. To have that name on my resume would be good. So I definitely want to take that 0. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this was his tweet in the immediate aftermath. Congratulations on an excellent performance. You're a true champion. Now let's see what your word is worth. Tagging you there. So it sounds to me like he would be your top choice if it was up to you.
Yeah. Of course. He was my top choice going into the before the fight and after. But again, I just feel bad. I'm too nice. That's what I want. Yeah. But then I feel bad for Yair when I'm just I've already fought him. But you know what I mean? It's a tricky one. But I don't want to say no because I like the guy. But again, for my legacy, what makes sense? It's definitely Movsar. But again, we'll see what the UFC want. We'll chat to them and. We'll see what that date works out like. Obviously, again, there's a couple of little things that we've got to take care of, and then we'll find a date, and then whoever it is.
What I find
obviously everyone knows I'm not scared of nobody. So, but I mean, we'll see what the UFC brings forward. Everyone knows what I've always been about. You earn your shot next in line. I've always been a big believer in that, and. Obviously the UFC, with how they are, obviously it's not just rankings that gets your title shot. It is more than that. I've never really played too much into that. I mean, whoever earns it, that's either earned, not given. I've always said that, right? And that's always, I'm a big believer of that. So it's just hard for me to not want to give Movsar the chance when that, he should be next, right? So it's hard. And then just giving guys that are ranked, 11, it's just... It goes against what I've always wanted to do. But again, I like everybody, so I don't want to turn anyone down.
Any sort of thought that if for whatever reason it didn't go your way in Miami, that would be it for you, that you would call it a career?
I guess I didn't look at it that deep enough. There was, how I talk about there's always going to be doubts. You're always going to have, doubts creeping in. That would only go as far as, what if you get caught? I didn't let it go any deeper than that. I didn't let it be like, you're going to retire and stuff like that. But so I guess I would have had to wait. But yeah, if I was to get knocked out again or something like that, I'm not going to do that to my family, you know what I mean? So I'm sure I would have been thinking real hard of, there could have been a good chance if I was to get knocked out in that cage, hang up the gloves, definitely. Because, my family obviously they're like waiting for me to hang up the gloves and that, and I'm like, oh no, come on, we're all right, we're a little bit more, come on. So,
would your wife like you to retire now? Is she ever saying this to you?
Yeah, she's sort of like, all right, you know, you got it back now. Like, what do you do? I'm like, nah, come on. You know, especially championship money. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you got to capitalize on that.
Before it's all said and done, do you need that Ilia rematch, or are you content? Are you at peace if you don't get it?
It just, again, we talk about legacy. It would be great to get that win back. It's just that can't happen right now because, if that opportunity was to come next, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? It makes sense. But you know that he's moved up. He's committed to that. And he still needs to fight for the title. And then, so it's something that I can't focus on right now because if it does happen, it has to be, we're talking at least a year away. You know what I mean? Because by the time he fights and then he's fighting again. So I'm planning on being a bit more active than that. I wanted to fight, again this year. So I'll focus on that and then we'll see where we're at. But I mean, it'd be great. Perfect world would have been having that rematch to get the belt back.
Yeah.
But that just wasn't the case. And you've got to respect what he's doing. He wants to chase he's done with the featherweight, he wants to chase the lightweight. Let him do his thing. And then if we do it, maybe we do it at lightweight, double champ again. Maybe does that, I win I defend again. Does that put me in a position to imagine that if he was to win and then we have a rematch?
Oh God,
at
that'd be
lightweight.
Incredible.
Oh man, it doesn't get much bigger than that. That's perfect world for me. But again, you just a few things need to fall into place for that to happen, and that's obviously in time. So let me just do my thing until that happens, because again, I still want to be reasonably active.
What do you reckon this weekend? Another proud Australian, Jack Della Maddalena, going for the title. How do you feel about his chances against Belal?
Yeah. So it's obviously a tough fight. You've got to give Belal credit. He's a lot of people might not like his style or something like that, but he's very well rounded. But I mean, Jack Della, I think he's a great matchup for him. I think because his scrambling abilities, he's got great scrambling ability. Even if Belal was to get a takedown, I can't see him holding him down for too long. I feel him bouncing back, and then I feel just his boxing is just going to be, he's got great variety and great range of his strikes. You know what I mean? Like he can go body, head. Like he's got a great mix of boxing in that. So he's a powerful, strong dude. So I feel like he can start to, I won't say break Belal, but I'm seeing a finish in sort of the later rounds.
Wow.
Which is, so a lot of people would be thinking that Belal will start taking over the later rounds. I think it gets better for Jack in the later rounds. I think Jack's going to get a little bit more comfortable with the takedowns, going to start getting to his feet more, and then he starts to let his hands go more and more as the fight goes on. And then he starts to catch him, body rips, whatever it is, big shots, and actually can put him away in like the third, fourth round. That's what I'm thinking. Again, Belal's a great fighter, so it's going to be a tough fight, but I think we're going to have 2 belts in Australia, so that's incredible.